child whose family sometimes couldn't afford food. A child so poor that his mother once considered not having him at all because the family couldn't afford to raise another child. A child who, at 15, was diagnosed with a dangerous heart condition, one that could have ended his career and his life before it even began. Today, that same child is football's highest paid athlete, its all-time leading goal scorer, and the most famous sportsman on the planet. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's not just a story about football, it's a story about obsession, sacrifice, and the decision to never stop. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5th, 1985, in Funchal, a small city on the Portuguese island of Madeira. His family was extremely poor. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked as a kitman for a local football club and struggled with alcoholism. His mother, Dolores, supported the family by cooking and cleaning in other people's homes. Their home was so small that Cristiano lived in cramped quarters with his parents and 3 siblings. Electricity often cut out. Some nights, dinner was little more than bread and sugar. Here's something few people know. When Dolores became pregnant with her 4th child, the family's financial situation was so dire that she considered not continuing with the pregnancy. A doctor talked her out of it. That child grew up to become the most famous footballer on earth. From a young age, Cristiano had an almost obsessive love for football. He played every free moment he had, in the street, on the school field, on the rooftop of his home. Teachers repeatedly complained that he couldn't focus in class because all he thought about was football. At age 14, a major decision arrived. He had to leave his family, his island, his friends, and move to mainland Portugal to join Sporting Lisbon's youth academy. A 14-year-old boy, alone, hundreds of kilometers from home, was so overwhelmed by homesickness that he cried himself to sleep on many nights. According to some accounts, he once smashed a window in his dormitory out of sheer frustration and anger. At 15, Cristiano faced something that could have ended his career before it started. Doctors discovered an irregularity in his heartbeat, a condition that caused his heart rate to spike dangerously without warning. Left untreated, it could have made a professional football career impossible. He needed a minor surgery in which part of his heart was cauterized to correct the issue. It was a risky procedure, heart surgery at a young age, for a boy whose entire future depended on his physical fitness. The surgery was successful. Within weeks, Cristiano was back on the field, as if nothing had happened. This was the moment his mental toughness first revealed itself. A boy who had just overcome the greatest physical threat of his young life now believed nothing could stop him. At the Sporting Lisbon Academy, coaches and teammates were stunned by his extraordinary speed, technique, and his obsessive work ethic. While other boys rested after training, Cristiano stayed behind for extra hours of practice alone. In 2003, an event changed Cristiano's life forever. Sporting Lisbon arranged a friendly match against Manchester United to celebrate the opening of their new stadium. In that match, the 18-year-old Cristiano tore through Manchester United's experienced defenders with his speed and dribbling. United's players were so impressed that after the match, they urged their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him immediately. Ferguson did exactly that. Cristiano moved to Manchester United for £12 million, an enormous sum for a teenager at the time. Early on, Cristiano struggled to adapt to English football's physical style. His dribbling was seen by critics as flashy and excessive. Many felt he got lost in tricks instead of producing end results. Ferguson stood by him but also delivered a hard truth. Talent alone wasn't enough. If Cristiano wanted true greatness, he needed to rebuild his body, his fitness, and his finishing. Cristiano took it as a challenge. He completely transformed his physique, building muscle, improving his sprint speed, and spending countless hours perfecting his headers and finishing. The results followed. In the 2007 to 2008 season, Cristiano scored 42 goals for Manchester United, won the Premier League, won the Champions League, and claimed his first Ballon d'Or, football's most prestigious individual award. A shy boy from a poor island had become the biggest star in world football. In 2009, Cristiano moved to Real Madrid, at the time the most expensive transfer in football history, at roughly 94 million euros. His unveiling was extraordinary in itself. Around 80,000 fans packed the stadium just to see him presented, a record for any player's introduction. Over 9 seasons at Real Madrid, Cristiano produced some of the greatest statistics in football history. He scored more than 450 goals for the club, won 4 Champions League titles, and claimed 4 Ballon d'Or awards. This era also gave football its greatest individual rivalry: Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi. On one side, Ronaldo's power, height, athleticism, and extraordinary goal-scoring ability. On the other, Messi's magical dribbling, vision, and natural talent. For more than a decade, the Ballon d'Or swung back and forth between these two players almost every year. Fans, experts, and media around the world debated endlessly over who was better, a debate that still hasn't ended today. But Cristiano's success wasn't just about talent, it was about discipline. He maintained one of the lowest body fat percentages of any athlete in the world. His diet, sleep, and training were all meticulously planned. Teammates have described how he prioritized maintaining his body like a machine over going out or socializing late at night. In 2018, at age 33, an age when most footballers begin to decline, Cristiano made a surprising move, joining Italy's Juventus for around 100 million euros. Critics called it the beginning of the end. Once again, Cristiano proved them wrong. Over 3 seasons at Juventus, he scored more than 100 goals, won Serie A titles, and maintained an almost unbelievable level of fitness for his age. Body scans that occasionally leaked to the media showed a physical composition comparable to a 20-year-old athlete. This was also when the narrative around his obsessive discipline grew even stronger. While most players slow down with age, Cristiano doubled down on his training and preparation. In 2021, Cristiano returned to Manchester United, an emotional homecoming to where his journey began. But this chapter didn't go as fans had hoped. The team's performances were inconsistent, and in 2022, following a controversial interview in which Cristiano openly criticized the club's management, his contract was terminated. Around the same time, at the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Cristiano was competing in his fifth World Cup. Portugal was eliminated in the quarterfinals, and questions began to surface about his age and whether his time at the top was finally coming to an end. But in 2023, Cristiano made another unexpected move, joining Saudi Arabia's Al Nassr on a record-breaking contract that made him the highest-paid athlete in the world. Many called it the beginning of a career winding down. Instead, Cristiano continued scoring goals in his new club, while also playing a major role in bringing global attention to Saudi Arabia's football league. So how did a poor, sick, homesick child become the most famous athlete on the planet? The answer isn't just talent. Plenty of talented children never make it. Cristiano's story is a story of discipline, the obsession to improve every single day, every single hour. It's the story of a heart surgery that could have stopped him, but didn't. It's the story of a poverty that never let him feel satisfied. And it's the story of a man who turned his greatest weaknesses into his greatest strengths. Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't just broken football records. He's proven that age, poverty, or physical setbacks don't have the power to stop anyone's dreams, as long as obsession and hard work are pointed in the right direction. The next time you see him score a goal, remember, this journey began in a broken down home, where there wasn't always enough money for food.